Hello to anybody and everybody who has found this video. Today we're going to be talking about how to keep yourself motivated and just sort of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel when you're experiencing a mental illness and you're in a dark place and you just sort of lack that motivation to keep going on, and just sort of different tricks or things you can do or things that'll work to help keep you motivated just to keep going on and obviously lead you down to a path of recovery. The first sort of thing I would say is to make a list of short-term and long-term goals for your life, your friends and family life, or your social life, basically, your career, and just sort of memories or travels or something like that that you'd want to make or experience, and all those sorts of things. And then it would be a progressive sort of thing. It would be like a lifelong bucket list of things that would keep you motivated to keep checking off the box and just sort of making sure you are achieving and seeing that progress throughout the list and sort of seeing where you're going and giving yourself more of a direction in life when it maybe feels like when there's so many different paths you could be going on. Another thing is to not overschedule and not overwork yourself, because then you're putting yourself in a spot where you are draining yourself and you are maybe overextending yourself to the point where it's unmotivating for you to just do things for yourself, because you're doing so many things for other people, or you're doing so many things in your job or your own sort of social network or something like that, where you just don't have time for yourself or time to just relax or take a step back or something like that. So obviously you want to keep a healthy balance between all of the work and your own personal time that you have to yourself. Avoid having negativity around you through social media, through your social networks, and sort of not to put a bubble around you and like shelter yourself in, but just to fill your life with more positives than there are negatives. Things would be like watching some good news versus watching just a regular news channel, because oftentimes they'll be putting on bad news just because it gets more attention, it draws people in, whereas some good news is literally just putting out good news for people to watch. And then other things would be just like having a good social network around you of people who aren't going to be so demanding of things they expect from you, or demanding of things that they want to do as a group or something like that, where it goes into the overscheduling yourself and that. Or you just have friends that become sort of not your real friends and it ends up being more of a negative relationship. You just kind of want to filter that out from you so that you obviously are not reinforcing a negative loop where it's just negative on negative. You want to have a lot more of a positive network for yourself where you're building on things. Stick to a daily routine and don't be discouraged if things don't work out or something goes wrong in that routine, because once you have a routine, it builds up a system where your brain is going through a checklist and it's giving yourself that same progression throughout the day, and it sort of just helps you stay on track and keeps a direction for you. And then not to be discouraged when something maybe doesn't go right, because there's often times where just a daily life won't be exactly the same for every single day. There will be sort of hiccups or something that goes wrong in your day, and we don't want you to be discouraged of things going wrong, because that's just a part of life. And your daily schedule, you should try and manage to be the best structure can be, while still allowing for things to go wrong and different alternatives if things do go wrong. Another thing would be to set up and create a social group and a social network around you, where it's a group of friends that you can trust and they're going to support you, and they're people you can reach out to, and just sort of they would help give you that understanding and perspective on what you're going through and the scenario you're going to be living in. And sort of it would be that positive feedback loop again, where it's like they're helping you, they're supporting you, they're pushing you to recovery. It's all those sorts of things. Getting plenty of sleep will help your brain obviously reset, or it'll help stabilize your brain, and it'll lower some of those chemicals, and it'll help keep you from losing energy, and then that factors into you losing motivation, all those sorts of things. And then find ways to distract yourself when you're down. I have another video up where it's anxiety and self-harm tricks to just sort of take your mind off things. A lot of those would be the same sort of thing applicable to this, where it's just things that you can do in your own daily life that would just sort of be a distraction from sort of everything that's going on mentally or everything that could be going on externally around you. Sort of an outlook on motivation and understanding if what you're doing is working or not would be If your daily life is struggling because your lack of motivation, things you're doing isn't working, try to contact your doctor because they are there to help. They'd understand and they would put you on the right path to being in a situation where they can help you recover. Therapy and medication might help you in these instances when your own sort of personal takes on motivation aren't working necessarily, and there's things you can do like celebrating small victories, doing your best to think positively, establishing routines because it'll help you keep motivated throughout the day as you're going down the list of things, as we said before. And the last thing would be to just sort of take things one step at a time and understand things are going to be slow and things won't always have to be rushed to get finished, and there's a lot more time in your day and a lot more time you should be allotting yourself to accomplish things versus trying to rush and overschedule all those things onto your life. And so that's sort of what we have for today's video. Hopefully you all have learned something or taken this information and you will be able to apply it to your own life, and hopefully we will be able to see you all in the next video. Thank you.